The Samburu, also known as the butterfly people, are a flamboyant group of people living in north-central Kenya. The Samburu are closely related to the Maasai in language and many aspects of their culture. The Maasai, who you may recognize by their red clothing or jumping dance, live mainly in central and southern Kenya and northern Tanzania. Both the Samburu and Maasai are Nilotic, but the Samburu are considered to be more traditional than the Maasai. Now let's start from childhood and discuss how the hairstyle of a young boy changes with age. When a Maasai boy reaches 3 years old, his head is shaved apart from a tuft at the very top of the head. This tuft resembles the comb of a rooster, which symbolizes grace. Between the ages of 12 and 25, a Maasai boy undergoes his first rite of passage, the circumcision ceremony. This ceremony, called Emurrata, is the ultimate test of a boy's worthiness to become a warrior. For Maasai boys, this ceremony only takes place once every 14 years. Samburu males are between 14 and 15 when they participate. One part of the ceremony is to get your head shaved. A razor, some herbs, and some milk are used to achieve this. The hair is collected in one place and is not supposed to fall on the ground to avoid a curse. The second ceremony is the warrior initiation ceremony. Once the boys have healed, they enter a special camp called Emanyatta, where they train to become Morans. Moran is just another name for warrior. A Maasai male will stay in this camp for 10 years. A Samburu male will stay in this camp for 7 to 10 years. At this time, they are junior warriors. Hair is the most prestigious symbol of Moran status. A Moran's hair is a source of strength, courage, and masculinity. Many hours are spent by the warriors braiding each other's hair. Like many of the other groups I've highlighted on my channel, the Moran use red ochre to style their hair, and this ochre is typically mixed with sheep or cow fat and applied to the hair and sometimes the face and the rest of the body. Morans are incredibly skilled in hairdressing. While in the Emanyatta camp, Samburu and Maasai Morans learn how to weave hair into thin braids. A Samburu Moran's hair is all natural. The goal of nearly all Moran is to grow hair long enough to fall when braided to the middle of the back or below. In this clip, 3 Maasai males are working together to braid the hair of a fellow Maasai Moran. They are adding jewels and some red cotton string to decorate the hair. If a Moran has hairpins braided into his hair, that means that he has killed a lion, and that brings him and his family a lot of pride. After 10 years as a junior warrior, the Samburu or Maasai man progresses onto the next stage of life to become a senior warrior. This ceremony is known as the Eunoto ceremony. During this ceremony, the Moran's mother shaves off all of his hair. This moment is quite an emotional one for the warrior, as he must lose all of the hair that he worked so hard to grow. At this point in their life, the men are allowed to marry and have children. The shaving marks the transition from a carefree lifestyle to a more mature and responsible one. After a few months, the senior warrior gets married and a wedding ceremony, also known as a milk drinking ceremony, is held. This ceremony is the first time that the Moran is permitted to eat in the company of others. The now married warrior is able to go back to his mother's hut for the first time since becoming a Moran. Morans spend time in the bush decorating themselves with featherhead adornments, which can be taken from a fowl or a wild bird like an eagle. Now let's briefly talk about the women and how they wear their hair. Married Maasai women generally shave off all of their hair. Married Samburu women wear a round hat and shave around it to make a circular hairline. This style is known as coupe. When the head of a household dies, all of his wives, children, brothers, sisters, and parents, excluding any Morans in the family, must shave their hair. If a Moran dies, all members of his age group must shave their hair in respect of his death. After 10 years of being a senior warrior, the Maasai or Samburu man progresses onto the fifth and final stage of life, becoming a junior elder. This ceremony is known as Olng'esherr. At this point in his life, the Moran is somewhere in his 30s or 40s. The man is honored with an elder's chair, and while sitting on his new chair, he receives a final head shave from his wife. Elders shave their hair because they must be less flamboyant as decision makers. At this age, the Samburu or Maasai man takes full responsibility of his own family and moves away from his father's homestead.